Do you feel like your continual experience of rejection is making you lose your self-confidence? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can handle rejection better so you don't lose your self-confidence in any way. My name is Iyore. We've trained thousands of salespeople across several countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, USC, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales, and I'm featured on lots of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I worked at an organization where I was going to target to sales to 20 high net worth individuals. I was able to bring in 21 high net worth individuals to the organization in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup annual expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I was able to double my portfolio by over 100% in just 11 months. I'm CEO for Advantage right now, and our specialty is in Salesforce management. This means work with sales teams, partnering with CEOs and team leads to help them optimize sales results and get sales results faster and in record time. And we do this using toolkits, frameworks, and a lot of templates to help our people achieve massive sales results. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right in. There are two aspects of life that nobody prepares us for. We learn it as we move along in life. The first part is being misunderstood. Every human being on earth at some point has and will be misunderstood. To be misunderstood just simply means your intention was not what was interpreted. Therefore, the feedback you got was not what you liked. So we've been misunderstood maybe by parents, maybe by spouses, maybe by teachers, maybe by friends, colleagues, siblings. Being misunderstood is normal because somehow, in some way, there will be a time where there will be a misunderstanding in a conversation. Now, how you handle being misunderstood is important because, see, it determines your emotional intelligence. It determines how well you would become good at building relationships. It also determines the future of that relationship in which you're misunderstood. How you handle it really matters. The second aspect, which is normal, which everybody will somehow experience, is rejection. Everybody will and has been rejected. Either you were rejected by life, maybe you expected your life to have turned out a certain way at a certain time or a certain age. Maybe by a job, you expected to have gotten a particular job or business opportunity and it didn't work out. Maybe even in a relationship, you expected to have been in a better place in a relationship with someone and it just didn't work out the way you expected. Everybody will be misunderstood and everybody would face a rejection. Now, you see, it is not because we are all going to face it. We are all not going to turn out the same way because of these two things, how we're misunderstood and how we're rejected. We're not going to turn out the same way. So it's your responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, to make up your mind that you will make the best of being misunderstood and you will make the best of being rejected. Now, the first thing to handle these two aspects, and they go together, right? Because a lot of times you're rejected by a prospect because you were misunderstood. They go hand in hand a lot of times. Now, the first thing to handle this correctly is your way of thinking. See, until you change your way of thinking, I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I attended a conference. And in this conference, my mindset about being misunderstood changed. In this conference, the speaker said, you will be misunderstood at some point. And you will even be punished for being misunderstood. He said, you know what? God will watch it as it's happening. As you're being misunderstood, he would watch you being misunderstood. He won't do anything about it. In fact, he expects you to be misunderstood and you take it with joy. And serve the punishment. After you're done serving the punishment, he says, come back and continue doing what you were supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the training in life that makes us tough. No child ever grows up strong and sound without discipline. No child ever becomes a responsible citizen without discipline. That ability to go through some pain temporarily and move from it, then go into life again like nothing happened, is a gift of life, and we all have it. When you face a rejection, you must realize that it's just a part of life. When you go through that pain of that rejection or even being misunderstood, when you take it, go through the feelings, the emotions. After that, continue with life. Those who drop the ball after that become nothing. Just like a child who is not disciplined at all, is not corrected at all, just is allowed to do anything they like, they end up almost becoming nothing. So I want you to see rejection differently right now. When you were growing up as a child, you were disciplined and guided. You were not disciplined and guided. You were not watching videos like this, honestly. You were disciplined and guided. Now that you're an adult, there is another discipline that continues. And this discipline, misunderstanding, rejection. Collect it. Take it. Move on. Do I get rejected when I sell? Yes. There are times I have meetings, I engage prospects, and it doesn't go the way I expected it. Yes, no problem. The feeling is there, fine, no problem. But the thinking, the mindset is that, you see, this is part of life, and I'm still going to continue moving. The issue is that some people, they go through rejection, and it paralyzes them. They feel like there is something wrong with them. They feel like there is something wrong with their products. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you're rejected doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Because you're rejected doesn't mean there's something wrong with your products. All you have to do is take the rejection and continue moving. Take the pain and continue moving. Success comes through movements. It's if you continue moving that there will be victory. It's if you continue moving that you'll get to the finish line. If you're running a race and for some reason you fail and you chose to stay on the ground, the race will not end. The race won't be completed. But we've seen in history where people fell in a race, they got up, they continued running, and they won the race, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm telling you now, change the way you look at it. It's life. Now, the second thing is you can decide that a rejection will be the trigger for new ways of doing things. Means, several times people decide to do things differently for several reasons. They decide to do things because somebody spoke to them. They decide to do things because they've received new information. They decide to do things because they're not satisfied with their outcome. You can now decide that, you know what, when I face a rejection like this, I will change and decide I'm going to do things differently. And how you do things differently? Ask yourself smart questions. Questions like, not questions like, oh, what did I do wrong? No, you don't have to have done anything wrong to be rejected, ladies and gentlemen. Questions like, what did I do right? So, oh, I like the way I spoke. I like the way I introduced myself. I like the fact that I was clear. My thoughts were aligned. Okay, what am I going to do differently next time? Okay, next time, this is what I'm going to do. Well, I remember going in for a presentation many years ago, and the presentation didn't go so well like we expected. We changed. See, we first of all asked ourselves, what did we do right? We listed it out. We're even happy with ourselves. We now said, okay, you know what? Going forward, we're going to change how we begin our presentations. We're going to demand that videos are turned on. We're going to demand that videos are turned on. This was sometime in 2020 during the pandemic period. We're going to say that videos are turned on, and we changed the way we approached video calls. When we wanted to go on a video call, we insisted, we sent emails ahead telling the client that we would like you to turn on your video so that it can help us engage better and make the conversation more interactive. And most prospects agreed. And with that, we were able to become better as an organization and in how we engage our clients. So when you face a rejection, look at what new strategies, what new improvements am I going to make in what I do? If you look through and you realize that, see, there's no new improvement I need to do, then you decide that, see, this course of action, the truth is that if you look at it carefully, there will just be something you can improve on. Because, you see, even if it's just the way you speak, your tone of voice, even if it was the pace of your presentation, even if it was the timing of how you engage prospects, whatever it is, look at what you can improve on and you'll find something you can improve on. Let it become a trigger for you. Finally, practice what we call the rejection calculation. There is a certain number of rejections. If somebody told you that you had to face 30 no's before you found your yes, what would you do? In fact, you would say to yourself, you know what, in the next 1 hour, let me go and look for my 30 no's so I can get my yes today. So when you know that the path to a yes, knowledge is what I'm trying to talk about. When you know that the path to a yes is through many no doors, ladies and gentlemen, you go through the no doors faster. Nobody ever gets a yes first, at least not consistently. Everybody must get the no's first. That's the purpose of practice. That's the purpose of repetition. Excuse me. That's the purpose of training. So you go through the no's so that you can find your yes. And with this, you have control and you'll be able to sell at a much higher level. So thanks so much for watching today's video. You've learned how to sell without losing confidence or handle rejection without losing confidence. If you haven't watched the next video here. If you haven't subscribe here as well. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please remember to like, subscribe, share this video with others as well so that they can be blessed by what you've learned today. I'll talk to you soon.